for 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday afternoon. We're back. Just a great conversation with Mr. Rice out there at Dean Hunkins, trying to get his team to the second round, but he got to go through them Colorado Titans first, a team that's looking for a gold ball 20. But we're going to talk a little bit of high school playoffs. I got my man that knows it all. I was hoping to bring Jordan Davis, but he never hit me back. But hopefully we can catch up with him later during the week. But I'm going to bring my man Chris Evans that does a great job, with the Guthrie Blue Jays, but also with everything with high school football. So we're going to bring him on, and we're going to talk about these different classes and see where everybody's staying. And, and if you guys have any thoughts, DM us or hit us on Twitter and let us know what you think. But we're going to get this started. Here we go. I'm going to bring my man Chris on here in a second. Here we go. What's up, Chris? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Tony. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hey, I've been junior varsity my entire life, so I know Jordan Davis is the varsity. I'm getting my reps on the JV level. I'll be there one day, so nothing wrong with that.
No, Chris. It's always good to bring you on the show, man. It's always a pleasure to talk high school football with you, man. Like I said, you kind of know your stuff, though. I know we didn't get a chance to talk about that Kyle Albert game and Guthrie game a couple weeks ago, man. I just said it earlier, man. It's one of the best games I've seen this year in high school football. Guthrie jumped out 14-0. Should have won the ball game. I'm not going to disagree. Mike probably say the same thing, and anybody on the Kyle Albert staff would probably say the same thing too. But just a great game. Guthrie, I tell you right now, when we pull up this bracket, I wouldn't want to play Guthrie right now. I think you could probably have a Kyle Albert Guthrie rematch in the championship. But I know Pryor said, wait a minute, TJ. We got something to talk about. We're district champions. We just knocked off your mighty Eagles that you got on your wall back there. But, hey, we're looking to play. Man, I tell you right now, that's going to be a good game. Pryor and Kyle Albert, if they both make it to the semifinals, woo.
No doubt. I think there's always a surprise or Cinderella, but I think there's 4 teams that really think they can win it. I think a lot of teams can win a state championship, but there's 4 teams that I look at that can really win a state championship. Carl Albert, Pryor, Dale City, Guthrie, I think can go out. We've seen it through the year that they can do it. Doesn't mean that MacArthur can't get on the road, kind of like Guthrie got on the road last year to get to the state championship game. But Pryor Tigers, man, Braden, watched the first half of that ball game this morning. And they are good, man. Their offense is special. They got great offensive play call. They got a great quarterback. They got a great running back. If you're going to beat Pryor, you're going to have to outscore them.
I tell you right now, man. Like I said, it's funny you said it. I did the same thing. I got up this morning about 4:00 and watched the game before we went off to church and just kind of want to see what happened. Because I said I was over at the Herod total game on Friday night, so I didn't get a chance to watch. It's kind of hard trying to watch a game and watch something else on your phone. Yep. So I just got home and I watched a little bit of the Dell City game. Then I watched the Carl Albert game. But I tell you right now, Pryor is salty, man. I mean, some of their play calling. I love that they set Dell City up on the second play of the game. They ran that little quarterback draw, act like they was going to run it again. They had the little Tebow dump off, man. Yep. Just a great play calling. I know Robert. I haven't got a chance to talk to him. I know, he loves winning those district championships, but you kind of said this a couple weeks ago. Pryor's a team that's is pretty salty. Got a bunch of guys coming back, and they had a lot of speed. I saw a lot of speed, kickoff return guys, both, just a well-coached team and big up front, and Dale City got some great athletes, but it's always hard to go on the road when you're playing for something like that, a team that's well coached up and has great athletes just as good as Dale City's. It's hard to match that intensity, especially on the road. They had the place was packed, new stadium. I mean, it was just rocking and rolling in there. Then you talk about the Carl Albert Altus game. Altus on there. Everybody talked about the quarterback, big kid. I felt like Carl Albert kind of got it rolling right now. Not being a homer because my kid goes there, but I feel like they're opening up the offense a little bit more, and I think they had to now. After they kind of got that scare against Guthrie, I think they had to change some things around. I know Mike probably went to the drawing board and say, hey man, we not say you had a bad performance, but I think Guthrie is better than what people thought they were.
Yeah, you look at Carl Albert now, 48-game winning streak ties them for Wagner for the second longest time in Oklahoma history now, only trailing Bixby at 58 games. But we know about Carl Albert, really good defensively every year. Offensively, to Elijah Matthews, I think he's about 160 yards per game. He's been phenomenal. But Easton Collier was big time, and as well as Dalen Rice in that Guthrie Carl Albert game. They both threw the ball extremely well. Webster caught some big time passes, and so I thought both quarterbacks really excel. Matthews is going to give you 160 and 2 touchdowns minimum per game the rest of the way. But I thought Collier was a big difference in spreading that Guthrie defense out a little bit. So Carl Albert, again, I think they're the favorite until proven otherwise. I know it could be a Pryor Carl Albert matchup in the semifinals, which would be fun. I think it's going to be another high score game if that happens. This is the year for Pryor. This is the senior group. This is year they were outscored, I think, by 77 points to Dale City in the last 2 years. New stadium. New helmets. They had the chrome helmets, had new uniforms. I mean, they had that game circled.
They were ready.
They were ready for that one. If they didn't win that one,
they said they said the first time they brought those uniforms out. So this is something they had cooking all week. But Jay, that's what you want for this. Was high school football is all about, man. Now you if you make it to week 11, you done your job. Except some of them different classes. I think 6A2. Everybody makes it. I think me and you could have got on the team and made it. So agree, yes. That's just how it is. But I think it's going to be really interesting playoffs. I think some of the classes, I think Mustang showed you they could do some big things in 6A. It's funny. I don't know what Bigsby, man. I've watched some games, man. I know they end up still blowing people out, but I've watched some games that people scored on them first, and I think Moore had them down 3-0 at one point in time. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know you get bored. It's hard to get up every week for a game. I'm telling you, especially when you beat people by 70, 80 points, it's hard to get up every week for a game. So, hopefully they don't get caught slipping one game, because I know, like you said, it's tough to get going each week in and week out.
Now it's playoff time. I think they really amp up. But Bixby Spartans, they score 654 points this regular season. That's a state record, and they're outscoring outscoring their opponents 65-12. And you're like, okay, but then who do they play? Well, they played Jinx, they played Owasso, they played Choctaw, 6A2's champion, and Sand Springs, 6A2 district champions this year. So they've had some good teams. They've had some bad teams as well, but they set a school record 654 points in the regular season. So they got a bye week this week, but I think they're going to be ready to go. And I think Jinx on the other side is the only team that can maybe give them a running chance. Although we saw Mustang stay within 16 of them, but Bixby's really good, but now they're going to be amped up in the playoffs. So it's their world to lose, man.
No, like I said, I mean, I kind of picked it like you did. I picked that whoever won that Bigsby Jinx game the first time. I had the person that lost the game is going to be your state champion. I'm sick to that. I know people's probably going to boo, but hey, that's my thoughts. Sometimes you'd like to see the underdog. I mean, just
absolutely.
I mean, it's good to see that underdog. It's good to see these kids work. I know Jones is his last year there. I know he wants it. Like I said, they jumped out to a 21-7 lead on Bigsby and ended up losing the game. It was more like a arena football game at the end of the game because so much scoring. Hopefully both teams can get defense this time around. But like I said, I would love to see if Jinx to do it. Like I said, Mustang. You can't count Mustang, can't count Owasso out. You get some things fixed, and we don't know who's injured, who was not injured. So you get some guys back, you get some freshmen that can step up. I mean, Carl Albert got a freshman and Wyatt Cadre. I know I'm gonna mess that kid's name up, but number 31 for the Titans. I mean, he's getting some big time minutes for them now, playing, tight ends, some special teams. So now's when you start moving these kids up. They're not freshmen no more; they're sophomores. So they played 10 games. So you seeing the training wheels take off these young guys, and now they get a chance to do big things. So I'm looking forward to. Let's kick off this class 6A big real quick, folks. I don't know if you guys can see the bracket, but I'm gonna try to make it a little bit bigger for us, and then me and Chris kind of go through it real quick. You got Bigsby getting a bye. And then Bigsby to take on Norman, Union to Norman. Who you picking in that, Norman?
Well, it's back and forth. Norman has really struggled the latter part of the season. I know Union struggled at the beginning of the year and have come on a little bit strong, but I'm going to lean toward Union on this one. I just think Norman, I don't know what's going on right now. They haven't played their best. I know the schedule has definitely picked up a little bit, but I'm going to go with a little bit of a road upset with Union. Actually, this is actually Union. So I'm going to go with Union on this one.
Okay. I like it, Mr. Evans. I like it. So we're gonna jump down to Mustang Norman North. I'm gonna take Mustang. You got this big time QB. He's supposed to be the man. He's going either, he was committed to go to OU. He decided to take his talents to Florida State. And so I'm going to go with Mustang in this game.
Yeah, I think Mustang's in the upper part. I think there's Bixby, there's Jinx, and then just below that, you got your Mustang, your Broken Arrow, ball clubs, Owasso's in there. I think Mustang deserves that. So I really like Mustang to move on.
So then we'll stay right here before we move on to the other side. So then we'll have Bixby and Union. I think we both probably gonna agree to Bixby on that one.
I would agree with you on that one. Yes.
So then we'll have Mustang and Broken Arrow, and I'm gonna take Mustang in that one too.
Well, that's a rematch of a game earlier this year where Broken Arrow beat Mustang 14-7, but Mustang was without Jaden O'Neal that ball game. So I like Broken Arrow in a close one with that. I think Coach Hill, along with Stanford, Jeremiah Santimba had an ankle injury, but they've had a running back come in there as well. So I think Broken Arrow moving this year this is their best best season they've had since 2019. I think moving forward, Broken Arrow's going to be in a good spot over the years with Coach Hill.
Yes, sir. Yeah, real good coach. So then you have Broken Arrow and Bixby. You get into the semifinals, get into the state championship. Who'd you take in that one?
Well, you can't go against Bixby. You can't go against Carl Albert. So with that being said, no one gave Jinx a fighting chance a couple years ago when they had a 58-game winning streak on national television, and Jinx won that game. But I think Bixby has it.
Okay. So we'll jump on to the other side. We got Owasso getting a bye. They'll take on Deer Creek or UConn. Two teams. I don't know. I think that right there's going to be a great game. You got Deer Creek versus UConn. I'm gonna take the edge. I'm gonna go with UConn in this one.
You know what? Just for podcast sakes, I'll go Deer Creek. Why not? Okay. I do like UConn though. No, you know what? No, I want to be right. Let's go UConn. I'm gonna go UConn.
UConn. We both agree to UConn. So you got Edmond Memorial, Edmond North. I'm gonna go with Coach Meredith. He got some of that Bomber magic in him. Edmond Memorial. I know we're not talking about them, but I think that could be a team that could be a sleeper, could knock somebody off. So I know they lost a tough game earlier this year against Norman North. So I'm gonna take Edmond Memorial and Justin Meredith in this one.
Yeah, no doubt. Edmond Memorial, you look at the senior class, they were 7-14 their first 2 years. And now their junior senior years, they're 16-6. So Nick Booker had a great game this past week in week 10. I really like Memorial in that one.
Okay. So then you got Jinx taking on Edmond Memorial. I think we're both going to agree to this one. I know Justin had that Bomber magic, but it ends the second week. So I'm going to take Jinx in that one.
I'll take KD Jones and the Trojans.
Yes, sir. Then we're going to move on between, you got Owasso and Jinx. I tell you, that's always a great ball game. But I think KD wants to do his last time around. I know his daddy got one. I know he wants to get one, be like Pop. So I'm going to take Jinx in that one over Owasso.
It could be a repeat of a triple overtime thriller last year in the same game in Claremore, Oklahoma. I think Owasso had the 3-headed running monster last year. Frankenfield continues to play great for Owasso, but I think Jinx, you kind of said they're going to be hungry for that one. Of course, Owasso stays in my file. They're going to be hungry, but I like Jinx. I think they played really well this year.
So now we got the rematch that we all been waiting for, and I think, like I said, I know you got. I'm gonna take Jinx. Like I said earlier, whoever won that first game is going to be the one that's going to win the. Whoever lost is going to be the one that's going to win the state championship. I think you get that rematch from a great game earlier in the year. So I'm gonna take Jinx and KD, and they're gonna ride off in the sunset and get them one.
Well, that would be good for 6A1 football because it's been all Bixby and Jinx this year. But I got to go with Bixby in this one. I think they just got so many weapons. Jinx got weapons, but not as many as Bixby. They got an experienced quarterback who has won a state championship, already been in these tough games. Coach Lauren Montgomery has been there in state championship games. I think he's been in a couple state championship games, but I'm going Bixby with this one.
Okay. So let's move on to Class 6A2. The bracket is big when everybody gets in. I don't have this one pulled up, so we have to do this one through my telephone, Mr. Telephone Man.
Well, I can tell you, as you looked it up, I think 6A2 got a little bit more interesting with Piedmont beating Stillwater, which I think for 6A2, that was good that Piedmont beat Stillwater because now you got maybe 5 teams to look at in this bracket because it looked like maybe 3 or 4 teams, but now you have 5, and now you'll have some interesting semifinal games that can go either way. So I think Piedmont beating Stillwater back in week 9 was good for this class.
So you think, oh man, that's a tough one. So Stillwater gets to bye. So then you'll have Ponca City taking on Sophomore. Sophomore started off really good. They won the Warmore, and then after that, man, it kind of fell off, and didn't win too many more games. But like I said, with this class, everybody gets in. So I'm gonna take. I don't know, man. I don't know Ponca City. I'm gonna take Ponca City in this one.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to think Ponca City as well. I know they've had a tough schedule. They took MacArthur 5A 1 District 1 champions to overtime. I like Ponca City as well in this one, but that's one of the better games in this class this week as well.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Then you got Choctaw PC North. I think Coach Corbin has got the go ball. He knows what it takes to get there. So I'm going to take Choctaw over PC North.
I totally agree. PC North has given up a lot of points defensively this year, and I definitely like Choctaw on that one.
So then you have Stillwater and Ponca City. I'm going to take Stillwater all day long. Getting beat, I know they're probably hungry. Hasn't won a gold ball in a couple years. Should have a good chance to get back there, but I'm going to take Stillwater over Ponca City.
Yeah, I like Stillwater as well. Sometimes, of course, you want to win every single game that you play, but sometimes the loss refocus you, get your attention back to where it needs to be, and so I think that will help Stillwater get to the semis.
Big tough game right here. This is a tough one right here. You got Choctaw, the defending state champion, taking on Sapulpa. That probably game's going to be played at Sapulpa. Sapulpa's a pretty good team. I don't know on this one, man. It's a toss-up, man. What they always say, what do kids say these days? 6'7", 6'7"? I don't know, man. It's a toss-up.
One way or the other. Yeah.
I really don't know, man. So I'm gonna take Sapulpa in this one.
Okay. So I'm going to lean on experience on this one. So Sapulpa had a big game last week with Sand Springs, came up short in that game. I can't remember the score. There it is, 35-18. So Sapulpa was looking for the first district title since 1984. Didn't get that. I think Choctaw, very, very, as you well know, Tony, athletes all over the place on offense and defense. I like Choctaw to get to the state semifinals with the victory over Sapulpa.
So So
going with experience on that one.
So we're gonna look at a rematch then. So we're looking at Stillwater and Choctaw in a rematch. Stillwater jumped all over Choctaw, ended up making it a good game. So you think since Choctaw got there, you think they can knock off Stillwater the second time around?
Well, this one's a tough one. It's 50-50 on this one. I lean towards Stillwater on this one in this game. If it were to come through in the semis, I just think Stillwater has that. It's hard to beat a team twice in the same year, but I'm going to go Stillwater with the slight advantage. They've been there and done that before this year anyway. But Choctaw's got so many great athletes, but I'm going to go with Stillwater in a close one.
You know what I need to look up? We need to find out, is Friday getting to play quarterback for Choctaw yet, or are they still running with the young man that came over from Guthrie?
Yeah, I think they're still going with Gadsden at this time.
Gadsden. Okay. So we'll jump onto the other side of the bracket. You got Sand Springs getting the bye. They'll be taking on Piedmont and Bartlesville. I'll tell you right now, this game right here, Piedmont and Bartlesville, Piedmont, I'm telling you right now, it's hard to prepare for that triple option in 1 week. This team can get you fits right now because you got to stay in your lanes. If you're not very disciplined on defense, they can eat you up. I mean, you saw them beat Carl Albert a few years back, knocking them off, So I'm going to take Piedmont in this one. I know the game's at Bartlesville, but I'm going to take Piedmont in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Piedmont as well. Everyone talks about that offense, rightfully so, the flex bone, wishbone, whatever you want to call it. Maybe the best question is, will they throw over under 4.5 passes is the question for Piedmont. But the thing about the Wildcats this year is they're playing pretty good defense as well in games. We saw them beat Stillwater 17-14. So they're playing really good defense this year. I'm going with Piedmont in that game.
So so we'll have Piedmont and Sand Springs hooking up in the quarterfinals. So then I'm gonna go with Sand Springs. I think they're hungry. I think they want it. I think they'll be prepared for that that offense. Bobby Klink's a good coach. I mean, I know he's talked and got a chance to be there, but I think this is his year to get it. If there's any year he's gonna get it, I think this could be his year.
Yeah, and the other one real quick, Muskogee Northwest Classen. Northwest Classen, I don't care how they got there. I know it was a 3-way tie. Ike was 1-9 and they lost in the district points. But Northwest Classen in the playoffs for the first time since 1968, I think it is.
Man, I was born.
Man, that I think I want to make sure I get that year right. I think it's 1968. 1968 when they were Class 3A at the time. Muskogee, new coach, a lot of transfers in, and I think they're finding their way toward the end of the season as they've been together for now 10 games. But I think congratulations to them. But I agree, Tony. I think it's Sand Springs. I think they're looking for the first ever state championships in 1966. And kind of like what we're talking about off the air with Pryor, this is the year that Pryor has circled. This is the year Sand Springs has circled. Easton Webb, the quarterback, he's a baseball player, but he's the quarterback. Dom Forbes is a junior wide receiver. This is the year. If it's not, they're going to have to rebuild next year and the year after. And Coach Klink does a great job. But this is the year that they have to. This will be their best chance in a long time.
Yes, sir. So you got Muskogee class, and you're taking Muskogee, right?
I'll take Muskogee in that one. Yes.
And then you got PC team that's got CJ. What is it? Last name
Turnbull.
Thornbull that came over from Millwood, a guy that's been to the state championship a few years, come up short with Millwood. He's taking his towns over to PC. He'll be taking on, like I said, Muskogee. I'm going to take PC in this one. Coach over at PC's been there and he knows how to win. But like I said, I know Muskogee's putting it together. But I think Thornbull, I think he'll be a little bit too much for them. I mean, they got the running game, pass game, won a tough game just this other night. This kid's been battle tested. He's been there. He's Washington's been the only team that's been stopping him, so he don't have to face Washington this year. So he might have a chance to get there. So I'm gonna take Puppet City in this one.
Yeah, great job Coach Willis Alexander has done this year with bringing some players in. Pumpkin City also lost some players as well, so big changes on that roster this year. But I really like Coach Alexander back to his days in Douglas. Guthrie and Douglas has a lot of great games in the past. So I really like me some Coach Alexander, and I like Pumpkin City. They got really great athletes. Piedmont's got that flex bone, the good defense, their discipline. But I like Pumpkin City in that one.
Yes, so we're gonna have Pumpkin City and Sand Springs in semifinals.
Man, that's a big time ball game. That is a big time ball game. I don't know in my heart because growing up in Guthrie, state championships don't come every single year. I find in my heart Sand Springs, man. If you don't do it now, it's going to be you're not going to be near the top like you are right now. So I'm gonna go Sand Springs.
I'm gonna go Sand Springs. I'm gonna go Sand Springs with you. I think. I think Pumpkin City's had a great year, done some great things, but I think it's Sand Springs' year. I think Bobby Klink wants it. These kids want it. I mean, it's last few years it's been Choctaw, Stillwater, or Muskogee in the picture, but now some of these teams just kind of fell off a little bit. So I think it's Sand Springs' year. I mean, I think they played had a great season, but I think it's their year to get it. So I'm gonna take Sand Springs being the 6A2 state champion.
Yeah, and Sand Springs had those first two games of the year. And everyone's like, why are you putting Bixby and Owasso on your schedule? Well, you play the best of the best. I guarantee you when you get to the semis or the quarters or the championship, when you line up against somebody, they're not going to look like Bixby and they're not going to look like Owasso. So you've seen the best of the best. You've seen the best of the best. I think that helps them.
That's it. So we're going to move over to 5A. I know the one that you like and I like. I'm excited about this bracket right here because I think there's a few teams that can take care of business and go get it done. So we're gonna go with we'll start at the very top. We got I'm sorry, wrong bracket. I'm jumping ahead of the gun. That's 4A.
I can tell you when you look at 5A as you get ready to pull that up, there's 8 games, first round playoff games, and I think there's 5 games that could go either way. I mean, this is going to be this 5A. It's been top heavy over the years, but this one's a fun bracket this year.
Man, I tell you right now, Mr. Evans, this is tough. You got MacArthur and Noble. I'm gonna take MacArthur in this one, but Noble's not playing good. Bad ball, but I know they're going to Noble, but I'm gonna take MacArthur in this one. I think they can get the job done against Noble. But then how do you feel on that one?
Yeah, MacArthur, they needed to win 10 points or more against McGinnis, or they were more than likely for the third year in a row have to go to Guthrie for a first-round game. So I think they were extra motivated to win that game. That's a big victory for them. Yeah, I think Lawton Mack I think they cruised the victory. Noble only scored 14 points against El Reno, and I think Mack will cruise pretty easily in a victory there.
Yeah, you got Dell City Booker T. I'm sorry, folks, I said that wrong. Noble will be going to MacArthur. Let me correct myself on that. Then you got Dell City Booker T, a rematch from week 2, I think week 2 or week 3 rematch. I think it's week 2 rematch. Booker T in Dell City. I think Robert Jones will probably run through this again like he did the first game. So I'm gonna take Dell City and over Booker T.
Tony, will there be any athletes on that field?
I think you're gonna have a bunch of athletes, a bunch of track stars, a bunch of athletes, a bunch of basketball players. So you're looking at a track meet here. Booker T really I really thought they was going to have a really good year. Not saying they have a bad year because they're in the playoffs, but I really thought they'd be one of the top 3 teams in Class 5A. But but like I said, with some of these other
Yeah.
teams stepping up and doing the things they're doing, I mean, they've kind of felt a little bit, back of the bus. But I think Delsey's a better team. I think they're going to be hungry. Like I said, I mean, it's not a bad loss for Robert. I mean, he puts him away from Carl Albert instead of having to play them in the semifinals. If he gets to meet Carl Albert, he'll meet him in the finals now, which will be a great mid-deal matchup. If both teams can get there, because like I said, when we get deeper in this bracket and we start talking, I think you can see some upset somewhere.
Yep. Booker T, I think you described him perfect their season. Michael Washington, a very good running back, but I think Ricklin and Black Wolf and all those playmakers in Del City get it done.
Yes, sir. Especially coming off that big loss over against Pryor. You got Coweta Claremore. Know that much about them. I mean, both teams in the Tulsa area, but Coweta's been there. I mean, I know back in the day that they was one of the teams that's always kind of fought. I watched them knock off Del City a few times back, back in the day. But Claremore seems like a team that's always kind of ready. I watched them play a few years ago. The Zebras, man, they bring a good crowd, so should be a good game between both teams. But I think I'm gonna take Claremore in this one.
Yeah, Coweta, they had a perfect season going until they ran into Booker T. Washington. Kind of what you said about Booker T. Like, they look bad, they look good, look bad, look good. You never know what you're going to get week to week from them. But Booker T. beat them by 18 points for the first loss of the year. I think Coweta runs the ball really well with Brock Hillman kid, and I think Coweta would win that ball game. This is an important game that I'll be watching, because if Guthrie can win a first round playoff game, that's gonna be a tough game. But if Guthrie were to win that game, I like Claremore's press box, so I know I'd be more comfortable at a Claremore press box. But Coweta will be a tough challenge. I'm gonna go with the Tigers.
We talk about Guthrie, Bishop McGinnis. I think Bishop McGinnis was a good team, but I think watching Guthrie, what they did in the Carl Albert, if they come out and play just as similar to that game against anybody else in the playoffs, I think Guthrie can go a long way. I think Guthrie's a team that can fight to get back to the state championship again. I think this side, I'm not saying one side is stronger than the other, but I think this side might be a little bit weaker than the other side. Because I really think Guthrie can knock off Bishop McGinnis. I know Bishop McGinnis only lost the game. They lost to, who they lose? They didn't lose it to MacArthur. And so, but I think Guthrie give Bishop McGinnis everything they want, man. Like I said, don't know that much about Bishop McGinnis. I think they kind of flew on the radar, won some games, had a chance to win a district championship at their house, and didn't pull it off. So, so I don't know. I think Guthrie. I'm gonna get the edge of Guthrie on this one.
Yeah, Guthrie 8-2. Their only loss is the number one team in Class 5A football. The number one team in Class 4A football are their two losses. Not competitive one, very competitive in the other. And then they draw 9-1 McGinnis. I mean, you draw 9. It's 9-1 versus 8-2 in the first round of the 5A playoffs. Are you kidding me?
That's tough.
I mean, hello.
Now, Chris, I'm gonna ask you a question on this, Chris, because you're looking at you look at these guys' record. I think we got to. I don't know how you do it. I don't want to call nobody out because I don't want nobody to say I'm talking bad about OSSA or anybody. But we got to do some kind of system that, hey, to me, that's a big time matchup. You got two good teams playing each other in the first round, and it shouldn't happen. They should see each other in the second round or the third round. It should not be happening in the first round. Two good of teams, man. Really, you probably should have Altus playing, one of these teams or something like that. But it's not a great matchup. Two good teams. That's like I said, Guthrie. They finished second in their district. In a tough district. And you get Bishop McGinnis that could have easily won their district. So I don't like that. I wish there's some way we can change that. Maybe, do a ranking or, hey, one plays, whatever. But I don't like that matchup.
Yeah. Okay. So right now, the system that we have, it takes the human element out of it. Of course, these coaches kind of line these districts up every 2 years. And so they might know this district or this district might be better or not. Who you never know. But right now, the way it's set up, it takes the human element out of the standings, and it's all considered on the field. The other, what you're kind of maybe talking about, is once we get to this system here, find a way to rank them 1 through 16.
Yes, sir.
And draw the bracket out there. Then you bring back the human element in that one. And, in years past, that has not always been the best, but there's definitely an argument for both sides.
That's it. So who we got now? We got what, who you taking in this game? Guthrie?
Well, let's see here. I got neighbors and friends looking at me. I even if I would lie to you no matter what. So I will take Guthrie in this one. I can tell you, I'm going to pick Guthrie. And I tell you, McGinnis has had it. a pretty good record against Guthrie over the years. This used to be a 5A2 district matchup. Now it's a first round playoff game. I do like Guthrie. Guthrie's playing really, really good right now, especially offensively. They stopped the run really well. So on the home field, I will go with the Blue Jays.
So tell me this, Chris. So if Guthrie gets this win, do they go to Coweta or
yeah,
Claremore?
Guthrie be on the road. Yeah,
be on the road. So
no matter, even if Claremore upsets Coweta, it does not matter. Guthrie will be on the road.
So we'll have Guthrie and Coweta. Who would you take in that one?
You know, I don't know if I've ever been to Coweta, Oklahoma for a football game anyway. Coweta has come to Guthrie before, but I'm not just saying this because I'm from Guthrie and I have a lot of Guthrie clothing in my closet, but I think Dalen Rice has shown that they can throw the ball really well.
Yes.
Guthrie's they can throw 7 different running backs at you, including Rice. So, and they've been in these playoffs deep, of course, making a championship game last year. So on paper, I like Guthrie.
Guthrie. So we got Guthrie. So we have Guthrie versus Del City.
Here we go again. It was a no contest a couple of years ago. There was a lot of hype around that game, and Del City said it. We'll take care of this in the first quarter over in Del City. This would be on a neutral field with these two. So Rickland Holmes, Caleb Blackwolf, just tremendous. Watched them a little bit today. You know, Del City, after the Edmond Memorial game, their schedule wasn't all that fun where you would sit there and watch them just because their schedule wasn't tough. But man, athletes there. Del City's gone with a couple quarterbacks now. I think they've gone with the Simmons kid along with Overton, who missed the first 3 games of the season, I think, due to injuries. So classic matchup. I'll let you go first.
Well, you know, this is a great matchup between Guthrie. You know, this is you know, you looked at it last year. Everybody had that game really hype, and you know, it was at Del City. But I think, you know, looking at Del City team this year, I don't think I know we talked about Rickland Holmes and what's the young man's name?
Blackwolf.
Blackwolf. We talked about him. You know, the quarterback. He's kind of struggled a little bit. Can run the ball, but kind of struggle throwing the ball. What Guthrie showed you against Carl Albert, it shows you that this is a team that can compete with anybody in the state in the Class 5A. So, you know, Robert Jones is my man, but, you know, this show's called Keep It 100. I think it's hard. You know, I think Guthrie's going to remember anybody that was on that team last year from Guthrie that's coming back. The beatdown that they got last year, excuse my French on that, but it was a pretty bad. It was bad. And so I think Guthrie have a little bit more revenge on their pipe. It's going to be played at the neutral site. Won't be at Del City. Guthrie travels real well. They did a good job cheering at the Carl Albert game. So if you're stacking it up, you know, I hate to do this, but I mean, you always want that mid-Del matchup. But I'm gonna take Guthrie in this one. I mean, I'm not trying to ride because Chris is on the show, but Guthrie has shown me a lot. I was at that game live and I seen it. Like you said, they lost two games, and I think the lowest scoring that Total has given up this year has been to Guthrie, you know, so that tells you a lot right there, because I watched Total live myself last Friday night and lit it up like it was Christmas, and it ain't even Christmas yet. So I'm going to take Guthrie over Del City in a tight game. I'm going to say 24-21.
Yeah, it would be a great game no matter what if we can get to the state semifinal. I think Del City runs the ball really well. Guthrie stops the run pretty darn good. So I will. It's a tough one. I like Guthrie, and I think they've proven it on the field that they can play with anybody in Class 5A football. And Guthrie's got to account for all those quick athletes. I looked at Del City's offensive line for the first time really close, and they got some great athletes on the offensive line as well. But you never know, in a state semifinal game, anything can happen. But why not Guthrie again?
Well, I would tell you this too. It depends on what the weather's like too. You know,
True.
You know, you get a little chilly, man. Guys on some, I'm a brother, man. I don't like the cold.
I don't like the cold either. It stings a little bit when that face mask hits your hand on that football. It stings. Yeah.
And like you said, you're running 3 or 4 different backs at you, man. It could be a whole different ball game. So, like I said, it'd be a great game. Not to take nothing from Del City Eagles. I love my Eagles too, but we got to keep it real here. But I mean, I'm gonna get an edge to Guthrie just because what they did with Carl Albert, and I'm hoping it wasn't a fluke game. But I mean, just watching what they've done, I think if you had Guthrie in any other district, they win their district. They're in a tough district with Carl Albert. So, like I said, I'm going to get an edge of them, and I'm going to put Guthrie sitting in the state championship, waiting for the other side that we're going to talk about real quick. You got Carl Albert and Duncan. Mr. Wright said, wait a minute. I'm coming to town. We're going to get on our bus, and we're going to drive the Demons all the way to Carl Albert, 15th and Post, and I'm going to give you everything I got. I'm a runner. I'm a thrower. I play both sides of the ball. I'm looking for an upset. He said it. I'm looking for an upset. But Kyle Albert said, wait a minute, baby. We got 20 gold balls. You better sit back, Mr. Rice. This ain't Rice and Roney. This is Kyle Albert Titans. So I'm going to take the Titans on a big win over Duncan. I'm going to say 35-14.
I've gotten to watch Sawyer Rice take his first snap as a freshman. I got to see him take a snap as senior this year. He got the Demons back in the playoffs for the first time in a handful of years.
Yes, sir.
And I got a Duncan and Carl helmet over here to my right. But Duncan, I at the beginning of the year, you rewind the tapes. I said Duncan's going to make the playoffs this year. It came down. I thought it was going to come down to Midwest City Duncan winner, but Duncan, kind of I think got it a couple weeks ago. But congratulations, Coach Terry. I think his third year over there, he's done a great job bringing them on. I got friends in Duncan on the coaching staff. I go to the baseball tournament every year. They have one of the best hospitality rooms for basketball, football, baseball. They do it great in Duncan. This game's not in Duncan, though. It's in Carl Albert, who also has a very good hospitality room.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Shout out to Jerry LeClure that does their hospitality, man. He does a great job. Great food and everything. Great job, Jared and his crew.
He does. Absolutely. So I will take Carl Albert, but boy, that would be a huge upset for the Demons.
It would, Chris. You looking at this young man. He's very athletic. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Tebow. Like he's gonna put the team on his back, but I don't think he can't do it by himself. Not when you have the athletes that you have. When you got you're looking at Elijah, averaging over 200-some yards a game. You look at Collier throwing for 5 touchdowns last week. I think Collier had to grow up, and we talked about this on the show before. I think Collier had to grow up in that Guthrie game and show, hey, he can't throw the ball because Guthrie did a good job slowing Elijah down. Not saying they slowed him down, but he didn't have one of his 200, 300 games, but yards, but. Collier threw the ball well, came down, when they had to make plays, he made some plays. So I think right now, with the offense rocking and rolling, I think there's a couple of things they got to clean up as the penalties. I mean, Mike kind of talked about that, but that's easy fix. You jump offside, you get some penalty, you come sit next to me.
Yep.
I think you get that in the kid's head and he's going to think before he jumps offside. So I think Carl Albert's still the team to beat in this class, but like I said, we'll get down lower in this bracket and we'll still touch base, but I think Carver does get the win over Duncan. Then you got McAllister over Collinsville. Collinsville's a team that played Dell City, should have beat Dell City early in the year. Some good athletes. Offense is kind of slow, but the quarterback's pretty good. Very, very good QB. Can throw the ball. Got some good sized targets he can throw too. So, I haven't seen McAllister since they had the one running back that went off to OU. Man, haven't done nothing since then. So I don't know about McAllister that much about them this year.
Well, I can tell you, McAllister, they started the season off 0-4, but they lost to Broken Bow, Poto, Ado. By the way, all three of those teams in 4A District 4, and Coweta. They started off 0-4, Jeff Craig in his first season. But since then, they have won 6 consecutive ball games. And it's not the toughest all schedules, but they've won 6 ball games in a row, including victory over Shawnee and Durant and Booker T. Washington. And so they're playing their best football right now. And they got that sixth spot in the district behind Coweta. So they get a home playoff game. Been there at the Hook before for football. That the town really rallies behind their football. And McAllister, great sports town. And I really like McAllister to win this one at home to continue that win streak.
Okay. You got McAllister over Collinsville. And you got Pryor and Bishop Kelly.
Bishop Kelly's glad to be in the playoffs. They worked hard to get into the playoffs. It came down to them, Shawnee and Durant getting in the playoffs. But Pryor, I got some numbers here, Tony. I think Pryor has scored 50-plus points in 7 of their 10 games this year. They're going to do it again.
Yes. They could be the highest team in this bracket right now. They really could be.
They're good, man.
It really sucks because I think it would be a great. It's tough because it could be a great game between Pryor and Carl Albert in the semifinal. In the finals. But like I said, you still got Guthrie and Dell City going to say something about that on the other side. But I just tell you, you're going to meet each other in the semifinals. Could be a knockdown, drag out fight. They're both coaching staffs going to put on a great scheme to try to stop each other's team. But I think Pryor did a good job the other night against Rickland Holmes. I mean, even though Dell City scored a lot of points in that game, but I think, with I still think Rickland's the same type of running back that Lodge is, and then the QB play, and then Carl Albert's receivers are big, man. I was listening to Pryor's, not Pryor, but Altus commentators, and they were like, man, you take one 6'3" kid out and bring another 6'3" kid in, and so you should see. But I think I'm gonna give edge to Pryor. I think they're gonna do everything they can to get to the semifinals and play Carl Albert. I know you got Newcastle and Altus. Altus looked pretty good. Altus is a team that is up and coming, but Newcastle, they found a way to win the district championship. I know coach over there is really pleased with his team, and I know they've had some tough games, but I think Newcastle is going to be too much for Altus, though.
Yeah, Altus, their two biggest challenges of the season came in week 9 and 10 with Guthrie and Carl Alberts. Jamin Reed is the freshman, and he's a fantastic freshman. And this is the year for Altus as well. They got a couple wide receivers, some defense players that are seniors. And so the Reed kid has some great options to throw it to, and they're going to throw it every single time. In the game against Guthrie, they handed the ball off 3 times. 2 of those were to get to the end of the half. But Newcastle runs the football well, and I think you got to run the football well in these playoff games. As you mentioned, with the cold weather, it's not as easy to throw and catch in cold weather as it is to run the football. But Bradford runs it well for Newcastle. I think they have the advantage there. The thing with Newcastle, when you play Altus and when you play Pryor, you better come ready to score some points because they're going to put points on the board. This is a great matchup, and this is 2 different styles. Growing up in Guthrie, I love my Woodwards, my Emmas, my Durants, all my small towns. Altus, one of them. I will go with Altus. I'm rooting for Altus to win this one, but I would not be surprised with Newcastle getting it though.
Yeah, Newcastle's defense kind of struggled. My buddy's son plays over there. He said some of the biggest things is hurt them this year has been the defense giving up points. At a lot of points at some point during the game. But like I said, Altus, it depends on how they bounce back from that loss against Carl Albert. Are you still down in the dumps, or hey, let's pick it up because, like I said, you played the best team. Carl Albert pretty much scored on every possession except one in the first half, But like I said, it's hard to prepare for Carl Albert because you try to stop Elijah. Now you go with, Anderson throwing to these big-time receivers. Johnson had 2 touchdowns. LeBron had a touchdown. Webster had a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. He ain't even thrown to Bo Davis yet, So they got a lot of weapons. They got the freshman that stepped in. Has been playing pretty good in Cordray. So it's a lot of weapons over there, man. The only thing you look at, like say when you start getting that cold weather, when Elijah starts getting hit, how's he gonna handle that? He's played behind X Rob and some of these other guys, but it should be good. So I'm gonna put Pryor and Carl Albert in the semifinals, and that's where we're gonna go. And so how you look at that one?
Yeah, and when I did my regular season top 10, I have Carl Albert number 1, Pryor number 2. So I think these are the 2 best teams that Carl Albert has earned that number 1 spot. Pryor, I think, has earned that number 2 spot. Both teams undefeated on the year. Carl Albert was able to score points against Guthrie, and that's what they had to do. Carl Albert had to score 47 points to win it. Guthrie had a couple of chances to win it at the end, but Pryor, I'm telling you, they are so good offensively. Throwing the football. They might not run the football a whole lot against Carl Albert, but Pryor does have a pretty good running back. I forget his name, but he had 150 some odd yards against Dell City. So they are capable of running the ball. Not only do they have a great passing quarterback, the Ward kid, left-hander too, but their play calling is unbelievable.
Yes,
I think, yeah.
No, I'm saying, go ahead. I'm just saying it's crazy.
It is. And I think Carl Albert runs the ball well. And I was going to say for Carl Albert and also for Newcastle against Altus, if you can run the football, that keeps that left-handed throwing quarterback on the sideline. And he can't do much on the sideline watching the Carl Albert offense run the ball with Matthews. So with that being said, Guthrie did a pretty good job with it as well. I don't know how you go against Carl Albert until proven otherwise on any game. So I like Carl Albert. I think Carl Albert will make Pryor one-dimensional, although that makes Pryor pretty good throwing the football as well. So I think Thomas in the middle does a great job of stopping the run. He's got some buddies in there as well. Royal does a great job in that as well. So it's a classic matchup. Carl Albert's eventually going to lose sometime, Tony. I don't know if you know this. They're not going to win 200 games in a row. It's not going to happen.
Yes.
This would be one of the chances, I think, where Carl Albert could go down. Not picking it, but I think I would not be stunned at all. I've been high on Pryor all season long. I had them number 3 all season long until proven otherwise. That happened last week against Del City. I wanted to put them at number 2, but I think Del City earned that right to be number 2 all year. But I like Carl Albert, but I will pay money to go watch that game.
Well, Chris, I mean, you look at Carl Albert and Pryor, you can look at a team that's been there. You look at the guys that try to win their own state championship. I know it's good to get a ring when you're a freshman, sophomore, and you might not have played much, but now it's your time to be the shine. And so I look at Carl Albert like, hey, it's Elijah, it's Anderson, it's LeBron's last year, Joe Thomas and these guys, man. I think they've waited their turn. We sat behind some other guys that, hey, a little bit better than us and went off to play college ball. We've been here. We tasted. We know it. Hey, are we going to let Pryor stop us? Yes, Pryor is a good team. It's a really good team. Yeah, they knocked off Del City, but is Del City as good as they've been in the past? We don't know that. Like I said, some of the games they played, they got beat up on, by Edmond Memorial, didn't score a point there. I know their quarterback was out, but they did have their quarterback this game. I think with Coach Johnson and the defensive coordinator over there, and Mike, those guys, man, they're going to put a game plan to stop Pryor. I know they got to win the other games first, but I think they'll put a great game plan against Pryor. I think you're going to see a rematch. You heard me once, you heard me twice. A rematch with Guthrie and Carl Albert in the state championship. Hey, Chris, what field are we sitting on? We both sitting on the UCO field, so that's what it's all about, baby. Win that gold ball at UCO. So, hey, we're going to have that rematch. I'm going to call it. I know you want to see that rematch yourself, so I'm going to call it. Carl Albert and Guthrie for a second time, World War II, in here in 2025. So now you got to pick who's going to win that one.
Well, I guarantee you Guthrie would love to have another rematch with Carl Albert on that field, and they would have a really good chance of winning a 5A state championship compared to last year. You look at Carl Albert, like Webster, you kind of mentioned there, the other players, Webster was the number 3 or 4 option at wide receiver last year because he had studs all around, and now he can be the difference. He can be the reason why his team wins the state championship. But Guthrie remembers that well. Guthrie feels like, I know they should have won that football game at Carl Albert, had great chances to win it at the end, didn't do it. So I think that will get them motivated. It's a classic matchup, Guthrie Carl Albert. We've seen it last year. This is the first time they ever played in a playoff game last year. And so I would be very happy to see a rematch of this one here. I think it would be exciting for both ball clubs. I did this in week 9, Carl Albert, Guthrie. We had him game of the week on our show. And I can fake it and say, I love Guthrie. They're going to win it all. But as you like to say, you like to keep it 100. I'll say it again for the 50,000th time. Until proven otherwise, you have to pick Carl Albert to win that game. But if there's a team that can do it, I think it's Guthrie and Pryor.
That's it. Well, if you get to that rematch, I know they were kind of embarrassed about that game they played against Guthrie. Don't think they played their best football.
16 penalties.
That's it. I mean, that's what Mike was saying. You got to clean up. So I think it'll be a close game. I think Guthrie will come up short just because who Carl Albert is. I mean, they did a great job against Elijah, but I'm starting to see that offense open up. And now when you start opening up, it's now you got to worry about Johnson. You got to worry about Webster. You got to worry about the young freshman that's getting some PT now. You start worrying about all these different guys. The defense got to play a little bit better. I tell you what Guthrie did a good job. They did a good job keeping Joe Thomas and LeBron off the QB. They did a great job on that. Maybe you come with some different blitz packages. I think Guthrie did do a good job showing that, hey, Carl Albert's secondary needs some help. So now do they change their coverage up a little bit? Do they go a little bit more zone? Because I tell you right now, Guthrie's receivers are still running wide open, saying, throw it to me. And so, and they had that chance all night. I tell you what happened, though. Guthrie gets down to the 5-yard line and don't get in. Should have got in. You had 4 plays to get in. I think, I can't think of his number. It might be number 7, the receiver.
Maddox Vaughn. Maddox Vaughn.
Had a heck of a night catching the ball. I know they tried to go to him a couple of times, but Carl Albert, I think they kind of figured out, hey, that's who they're going to go to. Anytime was a big time down, they went to him, and he came through 95% of the time. So, but I think it'll be a great game, a great rematch, and that's what I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick them two in the state championship. I think if you get down to it, I'm going to pick 28-21 victory. Carl Albert. Yeah,
and that's what makes Guthrie pretty good. Maddox Vaughn's been really good. He's come out and had a great senior campaign, but you got Amari Watson, number 3, that can catch the ball. Jace Rainwater's been catching balls since the first grade at wide receiver. So it came down to the quarterbacks playing very good for both ball clubs in that game. So if they can get there, it'd be fun. But both of these teams have a long way to go to get.
They got a long way to go. You got to crawl before you walk. But like I said, I think.
But we get to talk about it. We get to talk about it.
Yeah, we get to talk about it. That's what makes it good about it, though. You know, and I'm pretty sure Mike Dunn and their coach are gonna sit back and listen to the show and see what we got to say, because it's all bulletin board. But like I said, man, but Priors listen to the show too. They got something to say. Hey, Mike, I'm telling you right now, Robert Jones are probably like, come on, TJ, we did a show for 4 years and you're going against me. No, baby, I still love you, but I got to keep it 100. That's what the shirt say, 100. That's what we got to do. But like I said, I think 5A is the one. I think it's if it's anything that's open, I think it's open to the public. Anybody can get in. Guess what? It could be one of these other schools that might get hot and win it. That's why you go play the game. So we're gonna jump to 4A real quick. Probably not spend as much time like we did on 5A, and see what we got. I think you're gonna have to. I think we get this to Tuttle.
I had Elgin begin the season. They're the defending state champions, beat Tuttle last year in the championship game, 29-22. And I had Elgin number 1, number 2, I think for the first maybe 2 weeks of the season. And I quickly pivoted from that. Tuttle is so daggum good offensively. And their defense is not talked about enough. They're very good defensively.
Yes.
And I think they've taken advantage of some kids moving in over the last couple of years, including this year. And I just think they're the team to beat this year. But Elgin has been nothing but good this year. They're dominating their people as well. They beat Lawton MacArthur to begin the football season. It's a collision course, but I tell you, the 4A4 teams of not Poto, they're out. Ada, Salisaw, and Broken Bow, those 3 teams are really good. Cushing is extremely good this year as well. And there are going to be some big Elgin and Tuttle are going to have some big time second round matchups and semifinal games. And they're the talk of 4A, but it's not a guarantee they get to the championship again. They're going to have to prove it, because those other teams are going to come in so hungry and motivated. And I know both Elgin and Tuttle will be as well, but you get into playoffs, anything can happen.
That's it. So, I got Tuttle over Clinton. I'm sorry, we'll start over this side. We'll go Elgin. I'm going to have Elgin over Bethany.
Yep.
And then Ada over Gibson, Fort Gibson.
Yeah, I would agree. Ada 9-1 this year, and they were down 20 points in the fourth quarter and come back and win that game 21-20. I have that Ada in the top 5 all season long. Fort Gibson's a very, very good team. They're in the top 10 as well, but I think the Cougars win it at home.
That's it. Then you got Cushing over Hisdale.
Yeah, Hilldale beat Poto a couple touchdowns in week number 9. That was for the big upset. Poto 7-3 and out of the playoffs. Northwest Class, I don't know whether they won 2 or 3 games. I don't know what it was. They're in the playoffs.
I mean, that's it. That's how it bounces in the Class 4A.
Man, so I guarantee you, Cushing's very happy to see Hilldale, not Poto, come into town. But I do like Cushing. You
got Ardmore over Elk City. I got Ardmore knocking off Elk City.
I do too. Ardmore as a team that it just feels they kind of have that good. When Ardmore's good, it's good for Oklahoma high school football, and Ardmore has been really, really good this year. I like Ardmore as well.
Then you got Elgin taking on Ada.
My goodness, that's big time. That's like a top 5 matchup in the second round of the playoffs. And Elgin hasn't had a tough opponent in some time, so Elgin's going to have to remember how to do it. And I think they will. Ritson Myers almost at 100 touchdowns, career touchdowns. So if he needs to get a victory over Ada to get to 100, and I like the running game of Elgin to do that.
So we're gonna have Cushing and then Ardmore. So I'm gonna take Cushing on this one.
Yeah, me too. Coach Morgan's done a great job with them. Kellen Fry is a great 2-way player. They got another great 2-way player as well. I think Cushing has been really good all season long, and I like them reaching the semifinals. So
we're gonna have Elgin versus Cushing in the semifinals.
Yeah, Elgin Cushing. I think that's how I would pave it out. But and I like Elgin to get back to the state championship. I think honestly, Elgin's on the right side of the bracket. I think Tuttle will have a tougher challenge. I think Tuttle is a little bit better team. I know Elgin people have been giving me harassing me all year, Tony, but my thick skin's getting thicker. But I like Elgin to get to the state championship game again.
I'm gonna go on a limb a little bit. I think Cushing is a team. I mean, I know the quarterback they had a couple years ago. He's over at Vanderbilt. He should be the starter next year.
Berkowitz.
That tells you what type of athletes they're putting out there in Cushing. So I'm gonna get on the limb a little bit. I'm gonna go against you on this one. I'm gonna take Cushing, get into the state final, and knocking off Elgin in the tight game.
Cushing's got the defense to do it. Elgin runs the ball well, as I talked about. Cushing has the defense to do it. There's no doubt about it.
That's it. So we'll have Elgin right. We'll have Cushing right there. Then we go to the other side. We got Tuttle and Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton plays with I think I've been told, an eligible player against Douglas. They had to forfeit that game, and that Clinton was going to host a first-round playoff game. Now on the road at Tuttle. That's the worst thing that could ever happen.
Yes, tough.
Instead of Clinton maybe perhaps playing in the semi, now you got to play in the first round. I guess you got to go through them sometime, but definitely Tuttle on that one.
Yes, so you got Grove over Sallisaw.
Man, this is a good one. This is another big-time matchup. I do like Grove, but I think Sallisaw might be the better team.
I think there's no better team.
Man, this is back and forth. It's at Grove. I've been to Grove. I've been inside the stadium for the Ridge Runners. It's a great atmosphere over in Grove. I think Sallisaw has gone through that district, and they've seen some really good teams. You know, Grove went through Cushing, but I like Sallisaw just because of their schedule that they played to get them ready for this game. That's a toss-up, though.
We got Broken Bow over at Wagner. I'm gonna take Broken Bow on this one.
Yeah, me too. Wagner, first-year head coach, comes over from Chisholm, and Wagner. Yeah, this is their 21st straight season to be in the playoffs. I think they barely get in, and Broken Bow's going to say congratulations. Now get ready for basketball season.
You got Weatherford. I think Weatherford knock off Blanchard. Blanchard's kind of down this year, kind of snuck in the playoff. Harrod didn't do their job, and so Blanchard kind of got in. Good luck to them, but I think that their season ends next Friday night against Weatherford. Yeah,
Weatherford gets to host a first round playoff game because of the ineligible player with Clinton. I was, those feel good stories I talked about with Sand Springs and Altus. Your guys from here, I kind of felt good from the great coach, wasn't a kid, great kid. I was kind of rooting for them to get there, just because how they are and how they do them stuff. But Coach Manning and Blanchard, they get into the playoffs, and I think they're going to get better. Just need to get things going in year number 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So then we go back. We got Tuttle. Who we got? We say Tuttle. Sallisaw is who we got.
Yeah. It could be Grove. I think Sallisaw, but you got to go with Tuttle in that one. Cruz Campbell throws the ball all over the place to those 3 talented wide receivers. Man. And then as soon as you know what? Let's get some safety over there, and let's throw a linebacker out there. Then you hand it off to Roundsville, 4-year starter, and he's going to run it right up the gut. He's over 1,000 yards rushing. So they got a lot of
runs hard too. He's one of the guys, like you said, in the cold weather, you do not want to hit head on, and he's going to keep on trucking. He had a couple good runs Friday night, man. First time I got to see him run. Kid's big time wrestler too. So anytime you got a wrestler, man, I mean they're built different, man, than most people. So love his game, man. I love what he can do running the ball. I mean, big tough kid. Line is strong. Tuttle's a team to beat, man. I mean, we could jump everybody else. I know we can say, hey, man, hey, Weatherford, all these, but I think Tuttle is their year. They got there last year. Like I said it earlier, they bit the apple. They tasted. They didn't get a chance to finish it. Elgin knocked them off. I don't think Elgin's going to be there waiting for them. They're going to have somebody new there waiting for them, Cushing. So I'm going to go on to jump everything else. I'm going to go and put Tuttle in the state championship, playing Cushing for a state championship.
I like it against the grain. I think that would be good for 4A. 4A last 7 years have been 7 different state champions. Elgin trying to go back to back, but I think Tuttle. We talked about their offense, rightfully so, but their defense is pretty darn good too. So I like Tuttle to back to the title game and win it. And I thought Tuttle was going to get blown out in last year's title game for a little bit, but they rallied back and made it a good ball game.
No, I think Tuttle's a really good team, especially getting a chance to see him play up close, man. I mean, Cruz is a big kid. The offensive line, they have a number 7, man, that's playing the secondary linebacker, outside linebacker, just a big kid, man. I mean, Harrod didn't really have a chance, man, a dog in a fight. I know Brock ended up going for like a 40-yard touchdown. Kyle had some good things. I did see Tuttle's coach come over and give Cal some love. Cal's gonna be a good kid. He's grown a little bit since last time I've got it. I ain't seen him in a couple of weeks, but like he's got it. I mean, we took a picture and he was a little bit taller than me, and I'm probably about 5'10", so he's grown a little bit. So, hopefully he can get that 6-foot mark. And then, like I said, he still got 2 more years. So he's a young man that I know he wants to get the playoffs and taste it, man. Because like I said, if you've never been there, man, it's something that you shoot for is getting there, playing for somebody like, Mississippi back in the day, Guthrie, Carl Albert, some of these teams, they know what it's like to be there. It'll probably devastate those guys if they didn't make it to the playoffs, when there's, a Carl Albert. So I know Harrod and Blink and those guys are trying, but like I said, right now, man, it just don't. I mean, you look at the athletes, when you look at Harrod's athletes, you look at Tuttle's athlete, man, they're just 2 different type of kids, man. I mean,
The
Tuttle.
only, yeah, and Tuttle is good without the transfers and
Yes.
move-ins in, and Hara is doing it with. I think you would know better than me, Tony, but they're doing it with Hara kids that played Hara second grade, Hara third grade, Hara fourth
Yes.
grade, Hara fifth grade, which I really love. I mean, if you can keep those kids together, that's the same thing with Guthrie. I mean, these same kids have been playing first grade now. They've had several players leave as well, just show you how good they could really be. But yeah, no, it's Cal Whitna, the great season, but Tuttle is just different level. You talk about kids, it's always their difference between their sophomore and junior years, how their body mature and get bigger. So I think they'll Harry will be back in the playoffs next year.
Okay, moving to Class 3A. I'm gonna let you. We'll do 3A, and I'll let you take care of 2A if you don't mind, because
Sure.
I don't know a lot of those teams at all. 3A is a big one I like a lot because I'm a Jones Longhorn fan, but I'm sorry that they'll be in 2A, but 3A, you're looking at Heritage Hall and Seminole. I know Seminole is a pretty good team. Quarterbacks, I think, a 3 or 4 year starter, pretty good athlete, but I think Heritage Hall is just too tough for them right now, just too tough.
Yeah, Heritage Hall definitely a team over the years. The father-son coaching combo has been good over the years. I don't know why it would not be good in week 11, and then in week 12. We'll see about week 13 though.
What is that? Iola and Chakotah?
Yeah, the Longhorns against the Wildcats, the Fighting Carrie Underwoods. Inola has had a good season. Of course, Chakotah had a great wide receiver now at OU, but I like Inola in that game.
So Lincoln Christian and Heritage Hall's on the same side?
Same side.
Wow, I would have picked it to be in the championship. How did that come about?
Well, yeah, you just you cross bracket those, and these coaches know how to classify their districts for the most part, and so yeah, I think Heritage Hall has been really, really good. Lincoln Christian is elite, but we'll get to them here in a little bit. But I think Sulphur came up half a yard shy of beating Lincoln Christian last year in the championship game.
Yes,
so we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but I like Sulphur as I really like Lincoln Christian. Sulphur's right there. And as we've seen last year, it'll be a great championship rematch if that happens.
So you got Lincoln Christian and Jay. I'm going to take Lincoln Christian in this one.
Yeah, Tommy Morrison from Jay. The Bulldogs are happy to be playing football. I can't remember. Jay was down something to Veneta, came back and won, and their reward is to go on the road to play number 1 Lincoln Christian.
Oh, who did we take between is it Iola?
Inola.
I'm
gonna go with Inola. At home, I like Inola. Chakotah, good season, but I think Inola wins that one.
Yeah. Then you got Lone Grove and Kingfisher.
Yeah. Lone Grove had a good victory earlier this year against Perkins. Kingfisher needed some help at the end of the season to get into the play to better positioning there. This is another 2-3 matchup. You never know what can happen here.
Yes.
Lone Grove with that victory over Perkins made me look twice. So I like Lone Grove. I have some friends in Kingfisher. Hopefully they're not watching it. Well, hopefully everyone's watching this, Tony. Subscribe and like and retweet. I'm gonna go Lone Grove in that one.
Okay. So we got Lincoln. So we'll go back to the top. Heritage Hall and Iona.
Inola. Yeah, I think Heritage Hall, the Bogerts, the coaching staff, Heritage Hall, they've been there and done that over the years. I think Heritage Hall gets back to the state semifinals.
And then you got Lincoln Christian and Lone Grove.
Yeah, it's I think it's Lincoln Christians to lose. I think I don't know if cruise is the right word, but I think they have a pretty good walking. I think Lincoln Christian might have beaten Heritage Hall earlier this year, if I remember right. But I think Lincoln Christian has a pretty good path to a state championship game.
So we'll put Lincoln Christian in the championship game. They'll go to the other side of the bracket. You got Sulphur and Anadarko.
Lincoln Christian did beat Heritage Hall earlier this year, second game of the year, 35-6. So impressive there. Yeah, yes. Lincoln Christian, and they're so good. So Sulphur, Anadarko. Sulphur has been good for a long, long time. They just run into some of these private schools over the years. Yes. Sulphur is a perfect 10-0 this year, including a victory over Washington, stopped their 45-game win streak at the beginning of the year. They beat Davis, who won the 2A state championship last year. They beat Perkins, who is a very good ball club. They beat Lone Grove. They beat Seminole. And so Sulphur has been tested early and often, and I really, really like Sulphur in this one.
We got Sulphur with Anadarko. Then you got Holland Hall with Berry Hill.
Yeah, that's another classic 2-3 matchup. Holland Hall's probably been more consistent this season, so I will take the Dutch to win that game.
Okay, then you got Cassia Hall and the Idabel.
Idabel, that's a nice little trip from Southeast Oklahoma all the way up to T-Town.
Yeah, that's a good time.
My friend Tony Wilson, the Pope of the Catholic Church, he used to be on the scoreboard at Cassia Hall. So how can you go against Cassia Hall? You
Can't
got
go
the Pope
against,
on your side.
you can't go against that. Can't go against Cassia Hall. Then you got Plainview and Perkins Tryon.
Yep. So Perkins has been a really good team this year. Plainview lost their starting quarterback a couple weeks ago, Dominic Kersey, the wide receiver, he'll be playing Division I. I think he's only a sophomore. I think they've had to move him to quarterback, and I think that injury really puts them behind the 8 ball. So I'm going to go with Perkins in that one.
So we'll have that's big time right there, man. You know, losing your QB,
and
then you have take your top receiver and moving him to quarterback. So that's pretty tough. So then we'll have Sofer taking on Holland Hall is what we got, right?
Yep. I like the Bulldogs in that one.
And then we got Cassia Hall taking on Plainview.
I'm gonna go with Perkins. I think that's a great matchup there. I will go with Perkins in a close one. Cassia Hall has been very good all season long. Coach Medina does a great job, but I'm going to go with Perkins in a close game.
So we both agreed to have Sofer in the finals against Lincoln Christian. Is that going to be a rematch from last year?
It's a rematch. I think it came down to 2-point try tackled inside the 1
yard line. Yes. So a good friend of mine is Dwight Bennett. I think he has family friends for Sofer. And he told me if Sofer would have won last year, they'd have won like 3 or 4 in a row. So I think this is Sofer's year. I know they came up short against Lincoln Christian. So I'm gonna go with my buddy Dwight Bennett and go with Sofer and winning this state championship in Class 3A.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. Lincoln Christian will be the favorite in there. They have dominated, but Sofer has been tested, and that will give them a chance. I really like teams that play great schedules, and Sofer has done that. And so I think it'll be a fantastic matchup. I got a Sofer and a Lincoln Christian hat over here somewhere. That will be an ultimate 3A final. I hope, to be honest with you, that's why I'm kind of looking forward just to see if Sofer can get over that hump and beat these Lincoln Christian guys who have been so good over the years.
Yes, I think it will be. Let's move on to 2A real quick, and we can close this out.
Let's do it.
I'll let you lead in 2A. Like I said, I don't know a lot of these teams. I know the Jones, Longhorns, and Washington, so I kind of follow your lead if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, not at all. Jones, perfect 10-0. They have been 10-0 since 2017. Of course, they had that run in 17, 16, and 15 with that win streak, and they were just fantastic that year. I think they'll have no issues with Little Axe. And I think in the second round, they would play Sequoia Tahlequah, who hosts Bethel. Sequoia Tahlequah loses their first game last week to Metro Christian in this class. So Sequoia Tahlequah, that game will be at Jones. Sequoia Tahlequah will bring the biggest crowd. In basketball, football, they bring the biggest crowd you've ever seen. So that'll be tough, but I think Jones is too much. I think they get to the state semifinals. Kingston and Sperry on the road at Kingston. I think the Redskins have been a top 5 team all season long. I think they win that ball game. Marlowe, we know about Marlowe. Football, wrestling, baseball, they're just a great school in athletics. And Marlowe and Kingston, I like Marlowe to get to the state semifinals to set up Jones and Marlowe. I would be disappointed if it's not this matchup just because I want to see it. The Morgan kid for Marlowe is a Division I baseball player, but he does everything else for them. Jones can throw the football. You can talk more about it than I can, Tony, but they throw the football well. So it'd be Jones's passing game against Marlowe's running game. It would be a fantastic, it's a state championship type of game, but it's going to have to happen in the semis.
I think Jones got the size of the line. I mean, I think they're playing good ball. I mean, I know last year they got knocked off, I think, by Metro Christian in the not semifinals, the quarterfinals. But I think it's their year. Hanson's a good quarterback. I know they got the Jackson kid that transferred from Del City. They got the brothers both playing linebacker. The Bus guys. I mean, 2 great linebackers, 2 great young men. Jones got the Templeton boys, 2 good size corners in the secondary. Both young men over 6'1", 6'2". So I think it's going to come down to it. I think Jones has done a good job. I know Coach Witz is, he's been on that staff when they won a championship years ago. I know Coach Darnell is doing a great job with the offense. So Jones can open it up. I mean, I don't know if they open up. I mean, you look at it, you thought it was going to be a close game against Chisholm, blow them out. You thought it was going to be a close game against Mount St. Mary blow them out. So they finally got the monkey off the back, knocking off Millwood. So I think it's Jones' year to get to the championship. Now on the other side, you still got to face the Washington Warriors, a team that's lost one this year. And they like to get back, so it's going to be somebody different instead of Millwood and Washington in the state championship. So I'm put Jones on this side. Marlowe's going to be tough now. You can't tell me there's going to be no neutral site. So, Marlowe's going to bring a good crowd. Jones will bring a good crowd. Everything will be green on their side. Everything. The cars will be green. The Christmas trees will be green. Everything's green when you start talking Jones Longhorns. So, I look forward to seeing Jones there. It's going to be, like I said, be tough. Knocking off Marlowe, but I think it's Jones' year to get to the championship. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win it because Washington is still the champion until you knock them off. So I'm gonna put Jones in there, and then on the other side, we'll talk about the other side real quick.
Yeah, and you got to start with Washington, who has won 7 straight district championships in there. They got Chisholm coming into town. I think Washington won't have any issues with that.
No issues at all.
Chandler is at Kiefer. Chandler, hot and cold this year. They, their players are dwindling their roster just with injuries and other things. I think they're down to around under 25 kids on their roster. So I like the Trojans to win that ball game. Hugo at Metro Christian. Metro Christian's been good all season long.
All season.
And then Lindsay, the Leopards at OCS. Tanner Roof and the Saints only one loss this year. That coming to the Jones Longhorns a couple weeks ago. No shame in that. Tanner Roof grew up in Guthrie, and so I really I like him to beat the Lindsay Leopards to set up the Metro Christian OCS private bowl matchup. With that game would be at Metro Christian, and I just think Metro Christian, who I've had number one, and I've gone back. That's so tough between Metro Christian, Washington, and Jones.
Yes,
I'm at Jones is 10-0. Washington's only loss comes to Sulphur. Do you penalize them for that?
No.
So, Metro has a great quarterback in the Ing kid. And so it's a 1-2-3, however you want to look at it. I'm not going to argue who should be number one in what we think, but I think it sets up Washington, Metro Christian. I think Washington gets the championship game. I don't know if you're Washington, if you rather play Jones or Marlowe, because Marlowe's going to play you within a score. That was a matchup earlier this year. Washington won the game 21-14. The last, Washington's won 3 straight state championships. The team to last won a title since Washington was Marlowe. So I don't know if Washington wants Marlowe or Jones in the finals. Of course, they just want to be in the finals. But I think Washington definitely gets there.
You talk about, we could easily be talking about Metro Christian and Marlowe in the state championship too, in Class 2A1. So I think those 4 teams, it could go either way. I think that's what you're going to get, one of those 4. And if anything's different, me and you was not on our rocker good that day. So I could see Metro Christian being there. I think they're a good team. Like I said, I think Marlowe's a good team too. So it depends on it, Coach. It comes down to who don't have the penalties and who's not turning the ball over. That's something we haven't really talked about, turnovers. I think that's when in that Guthrie Carl Albert game, I think there was not a lot of turnovers in that game. So I think the onside kick kind of threw Carl Albert for. I guess you can make that as a turnover, but who's going to come out and do the tricky things though? Who's going to be disciplined? So that's what I think was going to come down to. Jones and Marlowe, and then Metro Christian and Washington. Like I said, Washington is still the champion until you knock them all. So I'm gonna put Washington there versus Jones, and then after that, man, I don't know. I don't know how to pick that game. I might have to wait till week. The day of the championship to pick that game, because either team, again, Washington is just Washington. They're always going to be good. The quarterback's good. I know Jones is good, but sometimes when you've never been in that dance in a long time, you get butterflies and you play nervous. When you play nervous, that's when a mistake happens. So I would give an edge right now to Washington if it's them and Jones, but Jones could turn around and do it because they do got great athletes over there too.
Yep, I think you nailed it exactly right. If it's not those 4 teams, Marlowe, Jones, Metro, and Washington, something big happened. I think those are by far the 4 best teams in that class, and it will be a fantastic finish. But, yeah, Washington's been there and done that until proven otherwise. But that Jones-Marlowe, that's a state championship type game right there by itself. So that will be a fun class to watch. There's no doubt about that in 2A1.
2A2, here we go. We can finish strong.
Let's do it. So Beggs, not the Beggs that we've known in years past. Kendall Denner is playing pretty good for the Sooners. He's a demon for sure, but they're on the road to Stroud. Stroud's been a very good team all year. I like Stroud in that game. Wyandotte at Valiant. Valiant lost week 10 against Vian. It was Vian really took it to him, but Valiant's best team they've had in years. They got the Prince kid Golson kid. They got a really good program. I like Valiant to win that game over Wyandotte to set up Stroud at Valiant at Stroud. I think Stroud is a better team. I think they're up there in the elite here, and I like Stroud over Valiant. Bottom of that top bracket, Adair, who I think is the number one team in this class going into the playoffs. They host Wilburton. Good season for Wilburton, but they're rewarded with Adair. Not going to go good for them. And then Kellyville at Holdenville. Holdenville in that very good district. But I think Adair and Stroud is a big time 2A2 semifinal game. That's good enough to be a championship game. But I really like Adair, the Warriors. This is the kind of team we talked about earlier with some other teams. This is the year they got circled to win it. If they can't win it this year, they're going to have to fill in some key places. But I like Adair to get to the state championship game. And then you look at the bottom of the bracket, Cassidy, they've only been playing in the OSSA for a few years, so they're in the playoffs, taking on the Davis Wolves, who a little bit more consistent this year than they were last year. They are the defending state champions. I think Davis has no issues with their Antlers at Salina. Coach Harmon has won 2 state championships in small schools at 2 different places. Salina does a really good job. So I think we have a Davis-Salina second-round matchup. I don't know how you can't go against Davis. Salina is going to be better next year, but I like Davis. Bottom half of that bracket, you got Keys at Vian district champions. They got Mason Wright, who's got several Division I offers, and he can catch the ball, he can throw the ball, he can run the ball, he can tackle you. He's really good for the Wolverines. No issues with Keys. Congratulations for them to get into the playoffs. Yeah. And then Dibble, they had the nice victory earlier this year over Davis in overtime. They're on the road actually. They finished third behind Davis and Holdenville. So they're on the road at Hennessy, a good ball club. I think Dibble, that's going to be another great 2-3 matchup. I know Hennessy's at home, but I'll take Dibble on the road just because I saw him beat Davis. That goes a long ways in my mind. If you beat Davis, you should win that game. And then they'll play Vian. I think Vian wins that game. And then Davis and Vian in a state semifinal game, if that proves to be true, is a big time matchup. And sometimes when teams are even, I know my friend Phil, he goes, if the 2 teams are even, give me the best player on the field, and that will be Mason Wright.
That is Phil. That's Phil.
Yeah. So Davis and Adair, I think, is the maybe the sexy pick to have there. Even if it's Adair and Vian, that's great as well. Stroud would be a good championship team as well. So I think this is the year for Adair. Not guaranteed they're going to even get to the championship game, but Davis has the championship pedigree. So I don't know. You never know what's going to happen.
Yes, sir. Well, Chris, if you don't mind, can you tell the listeners what day the state championship games will be played on? I know they changed it up a little bit from last year. If you have it on you,
I have it. I have it on my phone. Okay. Yes, sir. Let me pull this up here real quick.
I know a lot of these kids are, they get into their second sport, basketball. But I know that I think they changed the 5A to, because I thought it was like the 3rd week of December, but I think they changed it to the 2nd week of December. So for the listeners, listen up. So Chris is going to tell you what days these are going to be played on, because they're going to be played on Thursday nights and Friday nights, right?
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, day and night, double headers. Yeah, and they rotate. Like 5A was the last championship game of the year last year. This year is going to be the 4A championship to be the final game this year. But here is your schedule. Of course, all the games at UCO. Thursday, December 4th, the Class B2 championship will be at noon, and the B1 football championship will be at 7 o'clock, a little 8-man football. On Friday afternoon, December 5th at noon, it'll be the Class C football state championship. And then Friday night, 7 o'clock on December 5th, it is the 6A2 state championship game. Saturday, December 6th, the 12 o'clock game, the 5A state championship. I love day games, by the way. I really love day games. And then the 6A1 state championship is Saturday night at 7 o'clock on December 6th. So that 5A football, 6A1 football on the same day at UCO. That's a steal if you're paying to get into that stadium. No,
that's hey, you played the weekend correctly. Go get you some good hot food there in Edmond and hang out. And like I said, you could both see me and Chris both got us on the UCO field, which the Richardson field, which is taking over the state championship games the last few years. I think Chris and his team does a really good job taking on all the games, man, from class. What y'all do from Class B all the way to Class 6A?
We got them all production-wise, yeah.
And so, I mean, and you talk about 2 guys. I mean, his 2 partners. What's your 2 guys' name is what?
Ronnie and Phil sit to my side, and we get to handle production. We bring guys in across the state to help broadcast the games. We got a lot going on with graphics and switching cameras and replays and scoreboards and all that stuff. So we'll have a good host of people coming in from all over the state to broadcast those games. So that's just the first week. That's pretty good right there. Then your second week of state championship games, Thursday, December 11th will be the Class A schools, A2 at noon. And 7:00 is Class A1. We'll go get a good night's rest, come back to Edmond on Friday, 12 o'clock, December 12th. It's the 2A2 football state championship and the 2A1 state championship. 2A1 will be at 7 o'clock. And then the final day of the high school football season, December 13th, Saturday, Class 3A state championship. And we end it all, I think, the perfect ending for high school football, the Class 4A state championship. It's gonna be awesome.
Folks, there you got it right there. You have all the game times. It's 2 weeks of work. Chris and his team will be taking on that big challenge of getting all the games broadcast to you and do a great job. And that'll be on what it won't be on the OSSN. It's going to be on the what's it called?
NFH work. NFHS network, and fingers crossed that technology work, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna get a whole lot of emails. But
hey, Chris, I have to say, last year though, man, I usually get it and watch the games. If I don't get to make it, I try to make it to some of the games. But great job last year, you guys. They didn't have any of the hiccups. A lot of times it drags and all that, but great job. Whatever you guys did last year, do it again this year.
I hope so.
And it's great. I'm telling you right now, I know people's complaining about the games being at UCO to Tulsa, but I think it's a great place to play the game. And you're not at OSU, you're not at OU, you're not at Tulsa. It's good to be played at UCO. A great facility place to be at. I mean, good parking, good place to eat and hang out. So it's the next those 2 weeks in December is going to be great for high school football. I know we're closing out the season, another great season with Chris and his team, what they do, with the Huddle, with his shows that he does, man. I got to get him super props, man. Like I said, he knows these kids. I said it earlier before he came on, man. He knows these kids' shoe size, their glove size, their helmet, and all that. So, but that's him doing his job. I know I do a little bit, but I'm not in his stage yet, and I'm fighting to get there, and I will try to get there one day. But that's why I like bringing him on, man. It ain't no jealousy here, man. I like to learn from the best and get taught from the best. So, and that's why I keep it 100, because having him on, it teaches me a lot and helping me grow my platform with Keep It 100. And like I said, having Jordan and him on has done a great job for me. So, Chris, I really appreciate you coming on another Sunday afternoon. I know our wives are like, man, are they going to get out that studio? Mine's just walked by twice taking the dog out, but she knows what time it is, and it's funny because I was sitting there, man, because I've been doing this girls show. So I've been stuck on that, man. I went out yesterday and covered girls basketball all day from 7:45 to about 5 o'clock last night, covering Del City Super Scrimmage. So didn't really watch no college football. And I was like, man, I really need to get ready for the high school playoffs. It starts next week. So, and then I had the Rice young man on and got a chance to have you on this afternoon. So I really appreciate you again coming on the show and helping me with this, though, man. It means a lot to me. It really does.
Absolutely, Tony. You do a great job as well. There's only a few shows that I circle on my calendar to watch every single week, and this show is definitely one of those. And I don't even hesitate to be on this show. And I give you a lot of props for your ability to talk to players and coaches. I can give dumb opinions or and stats and all that stuff, but you're talking to the student athletes, you're giving them a platform and the coaches a platform. We've incorporated that a little bit with our show as well, but you've been consistent with that over the years. So I think it does a great job to give those kids a platform to speak, and we get to see them without a helmet on and see their smiles. So major props to you, and thank you so much for having me once again. And I'm looking forward to many more.
Well, Chris, I appreciate you, man. I'm going to have you on the girls show, man. I know you know your basketball too. So we'll let have you on that and talk a little bit about high school girls basketball, man. Like I said, it's a show that's going really well. I'm pretty proud of what me and Coach Johnny Vick has done with that show, man. We're starting to get a lot of listeners. I mean, I tell you right now, Rice's dad's excited about him being on the show. He's already put it on his Facebook page. My son's going to be on Keep It 100. And that's what we like right there, man. That's what we want right there, is that, hey, man, I mean, I'm telling you, folks, when you listen to that interview, this kid, man, first time I met him, man, you talking about a well-spoken young man. He does put me a lot of mind of Tebow. When you listen to the show, Chris, you can be like, man, he does, man. He's really, really humble. You think he'd be kind of cocky and arrogant, man. He's not, man. I love that. And, quarterbacks, people know quarterback moms and dads are a little different than any other position on the field. And I mean, nothing bad. It's just, hey, this is a tough position. There's only one of them, and only one kid can play at a time, not like a running back. Like you said, Guthrie has 4 different running backs. There's only one quarterback that's playing. Yep. And defensive backs, there's 2 to 4 back there. So, but really, really humble kid, man. Glad I had him on the show. Like I said, once again, glad to have you on the show now. Looking forward to see you doing the playoffs, and we'll keep in touch, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you, man. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Well, folks, that's Chris Evans, the outstanding beat writer. I'm on the wrong page. The outstanding beat writer for the Guthrie Blue Jays, man. I mean, not just Guthrie. He covers everything. You see, he's already got the field up for ready for the UCO background. This tells you right there, all championship games will be played at UCO from Class A, B, will be played there, 6A, 5A. And like I said, glad to have him on again on the show. It's always good to talk to him about high school football. He does a great job taking his Sunday afternoon to come on with me and help me go through the not the rankings, but the breakdown of each class. And I granted, I don't do too much in A and B. He does all that. I try to stick from 6A all the way down to 2A. 2A2, I'm not that good in it, but I will get better as the years come to get to know these teams and get to know these kids better. But folks, we appreciate you always tuning in to a great episode of Keep It 100, man. I love it. I love that I get to do this show. I love that I get to talk to you guys about high school sports. Like you said, I love talking to coaches, love talking to players. I love being part of this, man. It's something I've done for the last 4 to 5 years. I'm about 10 away from hitting my goal, folks. 500 subscribers. I need you to get on there and be the next 10. Come on and join me on Keep It 100. Come join me. I'm 10 away from hitting my 5, folks. That's 500 subscribers, man. That's big time for me and what I've done with the show. I'd like to thank Jonah. I'd like to thank Ethan. I'd like to thank RT, the guys that rode with me on this show. I'd like to thank Coach Vic has come on. I'd like to thank Jordan and Chris Evans has helped me do the road. But, folks, it's time for me to go. I got to go get it up for you to see. People's going to be sad. People's going to be glad. But, hey, we keep it 100. If you don't like my picks, let me know about them. But, hey, we keep it 100. So we'll catch you next time on Keep It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. The only one, 100. See ya!